On this Ask Katrina, the question is, how do I get feedback from my leader? I need more feedback. I need better feedback. I'm lacking in the feedback area. I'm either getting none or I'm not getting enough. How do I get feedback? I love this question. This is great. There are two things I want you to think about here. Before I go any further and tell you how to ask for feedback, what I want you to realize is this. If you're thinking in your mind right now, I'm not getting enough feedback, I want you to ask yourself, are you giving the right amount of feedback to your team? Be the leader that you wish you had. Don't wait for someone else to ask, right? Give regular, consistent feedback. Do that. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about how you get more feedback and you understand how you're performing so that you can continue to improve or continue to do what you've been doing, right? So the first thing I would ask you is this. Do you have regular standing meetings with your supervisor, with the person that you're seeking to get feedback from? Now, it could be a supervisor. I just said that. That's who you usually is from. It could also be from a mentor. It could be from the team that reports to you. At the end of the day, who are you seeking feedback from? And then ask yourself this, are you meeting with them regularly so they can actually give you feedback? If you don't have regular meetings, then there's really no opportunity to tell you how you're performing. So that's the first thing that you need to do is have regular scheduled time to meet with that individual and discuss your performance. It doesn't have to wait for an annual review. It should be a regular discussion. The other thing that tends to happen for us as women is we think, well, I know I'm doing a good job. I'm not going to ask. I just want them to tell me. You know, it's sort of like I don't want to ask for a raise. I don't want to ask for a promotion. I just want them to recognize that I'm doing a good job and offer it to me, right? Well, here's the deal. Typically, we don't get feedback unless we're underperforming. That's feedback that eventually has to happen. And it takes a long time to get there. But we don't regularly get it. If we've done a good job, we may get a high five. We may not. And so if we're waiting for someone to tell us how we're doing, we can't wait. If you don't have a proactive person that you're seeking to engage with, and they're not giving you that regular feedback, schedule meetings and then be intentional. Ask for the feedback. Hey, I just want to ask you a quick question. How am I doing? What is something I did really well on this week? What's something I really need to improve on that you've seen this week or recently, right? Set the time frame and tell them, hey, I hope you don't mind, but every time we have one of these meetings, I'm going to ask you that question. What have I done well? What do I need to improve on? If they're not going to regularly give it to you, tell them that you're going to regularly ask for it. Plant the seed. Again, they may not be a strong leader. That may be a muscle that they're working to build in their leadership style. Whatever the case may be, don't wait for them to figure it out. Your career is too important. Don't leave your career in the hands of someone else. Take control. And the way that you do that is you make sure you have regular meetings with these individuals and that you ask for the feedback. Most people say, hey, how am I doing? Give me some feedback. Too vague. That's why I said ask those two questions. What is something that I did really well on recently that you can think of? What is something that I really need to improve upon that you noticed? It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something small. Now, if they just gave you feedback on something on one of those two, then you can just say, hey, thank you for the feedback that you gave me on that recent presentation. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the positive feedback. Can you tell me now something that I need to improve upon? Right? Don't let them off the hook just because they gave you one piece of feedback. Ask for both. If they told you an area of improvement recently, then ask for the praise, but get both. You need both, so ask for both. That is how you get feedback. You ask for it, and you let them know you're going to ask for it on a regular basis. Now, remember, go be the boss that you wish you had. Go be the mentor that you wish you had, or the team member that you wish you had, and give people feedback without them having to ask for it. If you practice it, you're going to get better, and then you're going to teach other people around you how to get better.